Now it's time to bring it into Photoshop. Now because the layers don't transfer over well from freehand to Photoshop, we need to use the box method. That is where we use a box and we select different components and copy and paste them into Photoshop. Be sure to paste as pixels because we're not going to be resizing it here. So we'll use the white arrow tool to select a piece that is combined with another piece. And of course, that's another nice thing about freehand, is that it allows you to select pieces that are combined, or Illustrator calls it compound paths, without having to release the compound paths. So we'll go ahead and select all of our ornamental pieces, and then we're going to go and select that with our box, and copy that and paste that into Photoshop. And of course it's going to be sized correctly because of the box. Now we need to do the same with our letters, so we'll zoom in here and select both the inside and outside of the letters. Now before we copy this with the box, we need to join it together. That's the same as compound paths in Illustrator. And of course we need to do that because there's insides and outsides of the letters. Alright, so we'll paste that into Photoshop, and now we've got all our pieces together. So the next thing we want to do is get rid of this border that's on each of our layers. An easy way to do that would be just get the crop tool and crop it out. And then we'll slide this on up a little bit so we can see it. Alright, so now here's where all the fun stuff begins. Select our top ribbon, go to Image, Adjustments, Hue, Saturation, and we need to colorize because it's black. So we need to move the lightness slider to the right, and then we'll just play with our hue and saturation until we find a color that we like. I think something a little bit rusty looking might be good. So it takes a while to get used to hue and saturation sliders, but it's really worth it because you're unlimited to your color choices then. So let's get our burn tool now, and we'll go ahead and create darkened ends on the ribbon. Notice the brush is at 48, it's a soft brush. The range is highlights, and exposure is 21 with the airbrush tool, of course. These are all random settings. You just play with the settings until you get what you want. And of course they'll vary depending on your project and the color you chose.